Good morning and welcome to this video from Yoker Evangelical Church. Today it's Tuesday the 30th of June, and this morning in our daily Bible readings we read Joshua chapter 2 and Psalms 123 to 125. This morning I want to take a look at Psalm 123 because it answers a question that all of us will need answering at some point in our lives. The question is, where can we turn when we feel pushed further than we can handle? What is it that we can do when circumstances in our life, when things are happening that we don't feel we can cope with? Where is it that we can turn when we feel isolated with nowhere to turn to? Or when we feel angry and we just can't help that feeling? Or when we feel let down by people time and time again, where can we turn to when we feel pushed further than we can handle? And I want to look at Psalm 123 because it answers that so beautifully, and it tells us about the God that we can turn to. So Psalm 123 verse 1 tells us simply, I lift my eyes up to you who sit enthroned in heaven. I'll read that again. I lift my eyes to you who sit enthroned in heaven. This tells us three really simple things about how we are to turn to this God and who we turn to. The first thing to notice is that it is really simple. Look, all that the psalmist does is lift his eyes up to God. There's nothing complicated there, no magic, no special things are happening. He is simply lifting his eyes. Even people in the most desperate circumstances, they can still do that simple act of lifting their eyes, and that reminds us it is simple to come to God. It is not a burden to turn towards God. He is the one that takes our burdens. If you know him through Christ, coming to him is as simple as lifting your eyes up. It is simple. It is also a joy to turn to him because we know him. Look how the psalmist speaks directly to God. He says, I lift my eyes to you. He is addressing a God that he knows, that he has been acquainted with. And that reminds us that we come to a God to whom we have access. Christ, by his death, bought us sinful people access to God, so that we don't have any need to go through anybody else. There's no intermediary stages. There's nothing like that. Christian, you have access to God, to speak directly to him. It is simple to turn to him, and we know the one that we turn to. But the third thing that we learn is perhaps most important, because it can be simple to reach out to other people, and we can know other people well. But nobody else is quite like turning to God, because he is the King. As the psalm says, he is the one who sits enthroned in heaven. When we are at our lowest, when we feel pushed further than we can handle, we can remember this glorious truth, that there is a throne over the whole universe, whose dominion is everything, and that God is the one that sits on it, and that we have access to that throne. We come to a God who is secure. We come to a God who is all powerful to deal with what we are struggling with. This is hugely comforting to know that when we are at our lowest, we can simply come to God. We can come to a God that we know. But most of all, that we come to the God who is King over everything. I hope you have a good day today, and God bless.